I'm on my way to Kingdom Arena for tonight's Wrestlefest, TASW's Wrestlefest. But I'm just going to be a spectator. I was supposed to face Gustavo Mendoza, rematch of the Humble Rumble, and I was very much looking forward to it. I've really liked my time in the ring with Gustavo. I was looking forward to it. I like All-Star. I remember facing Hot Stuff Hernandez at the Bingo Hall. I was a replacement for Devastator. Now, you put me in Hot Stuff side by side or face to face, you know, it seems like it's clearly a quick win for Hot Stuff. But we went out there and we tore the house down. I remember Brother Icarus giving me one of his patented chops as Hot Stuff held me, and Scobie Gober getting the shot in, even though he was sitting in the front row. I remember Humble Rumble 10. I believe me and Bobby Too Bad and Psycho Simpson tore the house down in front of a standing room only crowd. For the last week, I've been dealing with a lot of pain. Even holding the camera and driving. Usually pretty easy scenarios. Not almost a week ago, I woke up in extreme pain. My limbs asleep, and I was scared. Now, I hadn't wrestled the night before. I'd gone to STW basically to consult, watch the show, kind of give my input. How can we make the show better with the current roster? Because I've been told I have a tremendous gift for putting a show together. I have a tremendous gift for making things happen. The reality is I try to bring out the best in any roster that I'm writing for, or consulting for, or part of. I just want really good shows we can all be proud of. I've been to a doctor. I've talked about treatment. I'm on medication. And yet I still have problems with pain right now. I've even mentioned to people that I could be done. As an active wrestler, I would hope to God that my talents weren't just of physical nature, but that I could use my mind in some aspects and help companies out. And I think that could be the next stage in my career. Maybe I manage, maybe I host shows, maybe I'm a commissioner. Who knows, you know? Maybe that opens some avenues for me. And anybody needs good consultant or a booker or personality, I probably could be your man. I just don't really feel like bumping. I don't feel like getting thrown around. It sounds logical, but for a wrestler, it's kind of, wow. It's one of those moments. I don't know if I'm done. I don't know. A month from now, I could be perfectly healthy, or as healthy as a wrestler can be. You know, about 95% as opposed to, well, you know, we all kid ourselves. I mean, we're never at 100%. But I'd like to be at a good 90% of what, you know, my 100% would be. Probably refocus a little in the gym. Work on a rehabilitative basis, try to get my back stronger. In the meantime, if the pain continues, I'm definitely going to go to a doctor and see what's up. Now, for my fans who are at a TASW, I don't like to cancel. I don't like to make phone calls that I cancel. and it's rare that an injury's held me down. I mean, I won my first singles title with a possible broken foot. That's a different story, though. Maybe I'll have time to talk about stuff like that. For the first time in a long time, I'm heading to a show that I was supposed to wrestle on, and I'm actually going to go watch it. Wrestlefest. And it was actually a show I was looking forward to being a part of. But that's not how it transpired. My role now has kind of changed, and I'm wanting to help TASW. Really, I feel like it's got such a rich history, and there's so many guys that have walked and been in that ring. You know, it's an institution. So I enjoy my time there, and working for Bob has always been a pleasurable experience for me, and I've enjoyed it. And he tells me I have a great mind for this. Take it as a real compliment. And so my roles right now is kind of that. Just, I guess, a consultant. I like using that word more than booker or matchmaker. I'm kind of the fine-tuning of the card and wanting to make it a really good product. I think it's got a solid enough roster that we should be able to do some quality stuff and give the fans a quality show. And it's a good little venue. I like the venue. It wouldn't take much to pack it, and I'd like to see it packed pretty quickly. You know, as of May 20th, I want it to be packed. That's their next show. So I was at the show in part to kind of tell the fans why I wasn't going to wrestle. Felt the fans deserved an explanation, not just card subject to change. I felt like I owed it to the fans because I, for all intents and purposes, wanted to be on the show. I wanted to wrestle Gustavo. But I was able to kind of also help with the show in a sense of, you know, just fine-tuning it. And I love doing that stuff. So, you know, the crowd wasn't bad. I mean, again, it doesn't take a lot to fill it. I think it's halfway there. Just word of mouth and posting on the internet as much as possible to get the word out about it. And I think that should be for every indie company out there. And I think, you know, talent, that's kind of their responsibility to a degree, as well as the promotions. I mean, mainly the promotions, but I think everyone can do it. I mean, you know, I've got a camera phone. I think everyone's got one. Or most people do, or these, you know, this camera, or webcam, or what have you. I liked how the card was. I liked who was on the show. It was good just to watch, really just get a chance to sit down and watch, or stand up and watch, really look at the talent and kind of see where improvements could be made, or things could be tweaked, or, you know, weaknesses could be hid, just to make it a better show overall. You know, I'm always looking for ways to improve, just from a visual standpoint. And Jay showed up from Dojo, so it was good to see him. We were talking about ideas moving forward, and I got to hear some gossip about other shows and former shows that I've been to, and, you know, former companies and whatnot. So all in all, but anyway, you know, results: Bowley Travis beat Jesse K. Logan. And Jesse's return, I think, after 2 years, and Bubba's recently come back, BLT, and they really got the crowd into it. I liked the back and forth. Jesse seemed to belong in there, and he had a good opponent in BLT. BLT went over, so good stuff. And then Johnny Fantasy, managed by Raquel. I find them as a very entertaining couple. She's got a lot of energy, which is good. And apparently she had a little bit of the flu, and she was supposed to face Claudia Solis. So it ended up being Claudia Solis and Johnny Fantasy going at it. I like Fantasy. I think he's got a lot of potential character-wise, and you know, I dig what he does, and him and Raquel are a good duo. But I know Claudia is all business, and she really kind of showed it out there. I think she showcased herself well. Got the win kind of out of nowhere. And then Raquel got in her face, and I think those two might meet up next time Claudia's there. I don't know if she'll be there May 20th, but then we had the first break of the show. Coming out of intermission, Diamond Dog introduced me, and I went out there and basically explained to the fans why I wasn't on the show, which was tough for me. A lot of stuff I said in this first part of this video, I said to them, you know, so much history. You know, they're going to be Humble Rumble 19. I was at Humble Rumble 10. Wrestled when Hot Stuff was there. So, again, you know, I was in the moment. It was tough because, you know, I almost thought maybe I was going to say something. Gustavo came out. He was my opponent. Wanted a match, and I thought, who better than Scobie Gover, the king of Humble. And Scobie and him had a really good match, a really good back and forth. Yeah, it's great watching Gustavo work. I mean, being in the ring with him is one thing, but watching him, he's a true technician, and I think, you know, Scobie took it to him and almost had the win, and then Johnny Fantasy came out. I guess those two's issues probably not done, him and Scobie, and Gustavo got the win. So a good win for him. And then after that was Eamon Rios, who's the Cruiserweight Champion for TASW. He took on Mysterious Q in a non-title match. Mysterious Q's been kind of a top contender and perpetual thorn in my side, and he's one half tag team champions for TASW, and like I said, top contender. Those two put on a wrestling clinic. A lot of back and forth, a lot of hard-hitting action. Pretty much what you expect from these two. It went a solid 15 minutes at least. And really, they did some really solid, innovative stuff, lucha as well as American. They, you know, strong style. They really mix, incorporate stuff very well. And Q, honestly, man, that guy is beyond athletic. I think anyone who watches his stuff, as well as Eamon, you know, they're going to be impressed. But I'm a big fan of Q's as far as what he does in the ring. He's just, I don't think there's anything he can't do. And he picked up the win with a 450, but he, I mean, man, he just throws it with such velocity. I think sometimes he does more damage to himself. I mean, it's that big of a move. And at that point, it was another intermission. I think Q was out there for pictures. I think Claudia was out there for the first break. That was good to see her. I rarely get to see her work. I'm always impressed with what she does. I mean, she really puts it to people. And her outfits are so colorful. I do like her outfits. So after that was the main event for the title. It was Dylan Superstar against Ruthless Ryan Davidson. Dylan is the current TASW champion. Has taken on all comers. And I think been on like something, I talked to him, it was like 19 match winning streak as a champion. So, or you know, since he's been champion, he's kind of been on a roll. And Ryan, he's now the PWA champion, and it's always good to see Ryan. We talked a little bit, and you know, he asked me how I was feeling and stuff, and he's real. You're gonna be back soon, and I'm like, let's see, let me feel better first. But him and Dylan had a really solid match. It's way back and forth. Q came in, distracted Ryan, and Dylan picked up the win. And then there was a little thing going on. I believe that May 20th at Rage in the Cage, they're going to face each other in a cage. I'm sure there's going to be other matches, and as I find stuff out, I'll let people know. Next week I'll be in Austin. I'll at least be making an appearance. I'm looking forward to that show. It's Wrestle Wars 3, and it's a big deal for TCW, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I will keep you guys informed of how I'm feeling, what the prognosis is, and what my future holds. Don't worry, I'll keep you guys coming along for the ride. So hope everybody enjoyed this, and like I always like to say, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. But you know you are, because you're here in the Lucha Lounge. Later.